Good day, my beautiful people. We're back up in this house once again with the BTS World soundtrack part 2. We got the second subunit. VOPE in the house. VOPE in the house. V and JHOPE are back in the house. Hey, it's probably one of the most unique duos, subunits that I've seen from BTS so far, which is awesome, which is ridiculous. But today, we're listening to the BTS World soundtrack part 2 titled A Brand New Day, featuring Zara Larsson. I love Zara. She's incredible singer-songwriter from Sweden. She's worked with Ed Sheeran previously. She is also opening few shows with Ed Sheeran for his Divide tour, especially here in Europe. Also with James Bay, if I'm not mistaken, and I know that she's gonna be here in Latvia whenever Ed's performing his Divide tour here in Latvia, I think in July. So that's exciting, that's cool. But let's have a listen to the song. It's gonna be one heck of a trip because from reading the description of the song, we get the Korean roots in it, because they mentioned the danso flute in it, which is great, and I want to hear how that would sound. And also they mentioned some trap inspired vibes, so we get this traditional Korean vibe mixed with the trap beat and everything, with Zara's unique voice, and of course V and JHOPE and everything. So let's hear the track. I'm excited. I'm nervous. Seems like the internet's been flipping out. Let's see if I will vibe with it as well, because this very much so intrigued me. So let's take a look. Let's have a listen and let's talk music. Okay. We get the flute. You can hear the flute. We get Hovey singing. Yes, I thought so that he would sing in this. Woo! Oh, I love the Korean roots. We get the sub bass and bass. Oh, beautiful. Y'all know, I love V's voice very, very much. The track itself, it's very, very minimalistic. Very traditionally inspired, no trap vibes so far. Ooh. Okay, now we get that sub bass and everything. Okay. This is interesting. This is very interesting. Very different from Dream Glow. Okay. Beautiful. Love it. Woo! Awesome harmony. We can look at them for hours and surrender to the power. Okay. I love the minimalistic vibes on this very much. Okay. We can hear guys singing the gang vocals. Ooh, okay.
터지는 목소리 기쁨의 숨소리 순간 느껴서 난 꿈을 이룰 거란 girl
I'll be the one the day comes. Head up in the sunlight, baby.
I can vibe with this. This is cool. It's interesting. Very unusual.
Show the world just who I can be.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll be there. Oh, I'll be there.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Very interesting. Wow. I didn't expect this, you know. I love Zara's vocals, you know. She has a very, very clean tone of the voice, you know, and she of course has that radio, you know, pop style of voice, you know, which is cool, which is nice. I wish that Tae and Hobie they would have sung more. I love at the start, you know, when Hobie was singing and everything, you know, because I love Hobie's that raspiness that he has to his voice, you know, and I've mentioned this in previous videos, you know, I love unique voices. I love voices that don't sound radio-like, and that have some sauce to it, right? And JHOPE has that raspiness and that lowness to it, you know, and it's just beautiful. It's beautiful, and I vibe with his voice very, very much, you know. Same with Tae, you know. You know, we've talked over already like 3 videos about Tae and his vocals and you know, and every single time when I talk about Tae's vocals, you know, they always take the cake. I'm always impressed by his vocals. You know, and I wish that he would have sung more, you know, even though he kind of had almost half of the song, and everything like that, but I think that kind of has to do something with, you know, like line distribution and and everything, but you know, it's all right. They sounded incredible, they sounded amazing. I love that they went back to their like Korean, like traditional music roots with the dancehall flute, you know, which is a woodwind, you know, like a vertical flute basically made out of bamboo. And you know, it gave you that very, you know, airiness to the song, and you know, with the bass and the sub bass, you know, with the synth bass and everything, and you know, the drums also were simple, you know. I expected maybe something a little bit different, because when you do read like that little description on iTunes or Spotify, you know, wherever you get music, and you read like the description, you know, what kind of vibe you can expect from the song, you know, it was like, it mentioned, you know, like, yeah, like they're traditional, like Korean traditional, you know, musical vibes, you know, with like trap inspired groove and yada yada and so on. So I was expecting something more dancier, something maybe more louder, you know, but as it is a soundtrack, kind of get where they were going with this. It's a great track, don't get me wrong. I like the track. And it has a completely different vibe from Dream Glow, you know, and this is very, you know, very chill. You know, like Dream Glow was very, very energetic, you know, and even though you could put it on, you know, for 24/7 and stream it and leave it, and this is definitely like a brand new day. This song, this for sure is something that you can just leave it, just play it on repeat, and it wouldn't bother you, you know. And this definitely gave me that soundtrack vibe, you know. I don't think that this could be a song that you could put like necessarily like on its own, like as a single or as an album, like within an album, you know, because this definitely sounded like a soundtrack to me, something that you could put like in the middle of I don't know, show, movie, you know, end credits, whichever, because it gave you that, you know, vibe, very, very chilled vibe, you know, something that's you know, not gonna bother you, even though it's completely a bop. it's definitely about, people will, I assume, I mean, I know that people will enjoy this because it's, very like, kind of like, hey, we're chilling, this airiness that the song has, and this kind of very freeing feeling, I'd say, is, a vibe that people will, go for, and people will enjoy it. I know that people will enjoy this. This sounded more mainstream than the previous one. Even with the, Korean traditional music inspired vibes and everything. And I loved, if we talk, like from a technical point of view and production and everything like that, I loved how, if you were listening closely, you could hear that the flute there was dubbing the actual vocal line, and it kind of gave this beautiful kind of octave there, which was really, really cool, and complimented. When you're kind of picking traditional instruments within a song, it's sometimes, in my opinion, I haven't worked with a lot of traditional, instruments when it comes to recording and making music, but I have used them in my songs, and it's kind of difficult to incorporate them, especially if you want to make the song, modern and something that people will listen to. It is. I think that it is a little bit difficult to choose the right instrument and the right sound that you want when you kind of decide, oh, I'm gonna put like a traditional instrument in it. But they did a wonderful choice. They made a wonderful choice, choosing the flute. And it complemented everything very, very well, and and it was the main focus, one of the main focuses, when we kind of compare the instruments, and everything. I love the synth bass on it. I love, as we all know, BTS and sub bass. It's like a this thing, it's you will always have bass and a sub bass in a BTS song, which is a signature thing, and I've mentioned this before in multiple videos, I think. I think that this is one of those songs that if you wanted to perform live, and if you really had to perform live, that you could, and it would make like a very chilled, atmosphere, and I can like imagine maybe like a maybe also traditional inspired choreo for this, and like traditional inspired maybe outfits and everything like that, because like Korean culture, their traditional outfits, they're beautiful. They're beautiful, and I think that it would look great, But this is kind of my idea. I loved Hobie's vocals. I loved his. I love when he was singing, a bit. I love his raspiness and everything. I loved the way he rapped. It was very chill. Comparing to other BTS songs, he's I wouldn't say aggressive, when it comes to rapping, but he has the sauce, but this was like a very kind of chilled version of Hobie, which I love. I loved V's vocals. I've always enjoyed V's vocals. I've always been a sucker for the lower register male-female voices, so this was definitely interesting seeing and hearing him, sing in his falsetto, and this just proves that his vocal range is incredible and super smooth and stable, and and I've mentioned this also in the Someone Like You video, that he sounds like the male version of Adele. So I still stand by my statement on that. So he's definitely the male version of Adele, and I definitely loved his falsetto. I've always enjoyed his falsetto, and I've always enjoyed his low register, especially his lower register if we talk about like DNA and everything like that. So and of course Zara, beautiful. I love her voice. As I mentioned, she has that radio that radio pop voice, that that's very very modern these days within the Western mainstream music industry, and she's an incredible singer songwriter, and I've seen her live performances. I haven't seen her perform live, but I've seen videos of her perform live, and I think that she's really really good. And this is definitely part 2. Definitely sounds like a part 2. And it's very, very interesting. So if we talk about, Dream Glow, that was very, as I mentioned, energetic, still chill, still, it had a very tight groove, and I love tracks with a very, very tight groove. This was more flowy, this was more dreamy, kind of like something that you can fill out the space, and put on the background, which is still great. We need music like that, and this was awesome. I'm very much so looking forward to hearing the subunit number 3, which is RM and Suga. And everyone on Twitter has been debating who's gonna be the feature on this. My personal opinion, I think that Khalid is gonna be the feature on it. That's a possible choice because they've been hinting that they will do a collab with Khalid. So I'm guessing that this might be it for part 3. We get 2 rappers, and, Khalid would be a kind of cool addition to that, I can speculate and I can imagine what can be, with the part like 3 vibes and everything, maybe as they are like RM and Suga, they're like solid rappers, solid producers, both of them, and I really do hope that it's gonna be something, very groovy. Knowing Suga and how he makes music, I think that he's gonna have a huge part in producing this track. I hope so, because I've also talked about this, whenever we spoke about the Seesaw I Need You remix, he's very, very unique when it comes to creating music, and I very much so vibe with his inspiration and creativity and how he creates tracks, and I like that very, very much so. So I'm very much so excited. I love this. I love this song very, very much. It's definitely added to my playlist and everything along those lines. But another, exciting thing is that there was the BTS World OST pre-order, which I made. So I'm waiting for my order. So that's gonna happen in the first week of July or something like that. We're gonna do a video on the BTS World official soundtrack, physical copy, and everything. So that is on the way. I'm excited for BTS World to come out. Definitely go do stream and get both of the songs so far. So Dream Glow and A Brand New Day are available on all major streaming musical platforms. So Apple Music, Spotify, iTunes, and anywhere else you could possibly think of getting music from. Yeah, this is dope. This is very interesting. I didn't expect this, but this is very, very interesting. So I will leave you to that. Let me know what you think of the song. Did you like it? Are you looking forward to hearing the part 3? Who do you think is your who you gonna think is gonna be the feature on part 3? If there's gonna be a feature on part 3, maybe. Who knows? But I will leave you to that. Always remember to be good, be kind, rock and roll, and I will see y'all very, very soon with a new video. Cheers.
Just a reaction, baby.